Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to use the One2One Android app to register as a patient. Please note that the One2One app is available via the Play Store and it will work on any Android device that is at Android version 4 and above. Once the application has been installed, it will display an Android app icon as shown here. Simply select the icon and you'll be presented with the login page. Now, if the app has already been used by a patient, you will note that it will already have their email address as shown here. However, for this tutorial, we will be simply signing up as a new patient. So simply go to the sign up link, click onto the link, and you'll be presented with the various important fields to set up the account for the patient. Providers or doctors can also do the same thing by simply selecting the Providers tab, and they too will be presented with the appropriate fields that they need to fill in as well. So, I will go through each of the fields and talk through the important bits. Please note I will be using dummy data throughout this tutorial. So, we first enter the first name as shown. We enter the last name. And we now enter a valid email address. It has to be a valid email address because once the account has been registered, it will send an email confirmation to the user with a link to confirm their registration. For this purpose, for the tutorial, I will be using a test email account. The telephone number will default to a particular time zone, but the user who's registering as a patient can overwrite that to the time zone to where they reside. So in my case, I'm based in London, so my dial code will be 044, and then my telephone number. It can be a landline number or it can be a mobile phone number. When entering the password, please note that the password has to be greater than 7 in terms of alphanumeric special characters, and it has to be very secure. So it has to be in uppercase, lowercase, special characters, and numbers. The confirm password field is simply confirming that the password you entered is exactly the same and correct. If it was not, then the user would be presented with a message to inform them that the password is incorrect, then they must try again. Once all the fields have been entered, simply tick the Terms and Conditions checkbox, and the Sign Up as Patient to One2One button will be activated. If the patient wishes to review the terms and conditions, they may do so by selecting this link. So once we selected the sign up, as you can see, the email address has already been taken message. This is one of the security features that the app has. So user can now go back and change their email address and then retry to register under a new email address. The following page is then displayed, which simply asks the user for other data for the account to be set up, which is an image of their photo, which they do not need to provide at this stage, but they can do later on. And this can be done via the Android app or via the web portal. They will require to enter their date of birth. Please note that a minimum age of 16 years and over are allowed registered users as patients to this service. Height is in centimeters, weight is in kilograms. Also, they require information about their gender, male or female. If it is a female, further questions have been asked, are requested, which I will show you once I get to that stage. So let's add a picture. Let's go to Gallery folder. Please note that this functionality also is very rich in terms of how the images can be manipulated. It can be enlarged, it can be shrunk, like I've just done so, and it can be cropped, it can be flipped horizontally or vertically as well. But to keep everything simple, I'm just going to select this particular image, and then when I select the crop button, the image is then placed into the circle. Date of birth will open up a calendar, and the calendar day, month and year can then be selected for that particular patient for when they were born. Once the date of birth has been selected, that is then placed into the field, as you can see, and also the height. So you click into the height or and enter manually using the keyboard the details of their height in centimeters and equally their weight in kilograms. If the patient is a female, then a set of questions will appear, whether they are pregnant or breastfeeding, yes or no. If it's male, on this occasion, we will select as male, and we simply select the continue button. The user is then requested to enter their location in terms of where their home address is. The reason for this is so that when searching for a pharmacy, depending on where they are, whether they're local in their home area, or they could be somewhere else, the system has the ability to provide information in terms of how far they are from their home area or where they're located currently. To do this, you simply enter the geo navigation button. The map will appear. You can use the plus and the minus signs to zoom in or zoom out of the map. You can use your finger pinch to move the map to wherever you wish to be. And then once you're happy with your location, the Set My Home Location button is enabled. If you click onto there, it will confirm that your home location has been set, and you may proceed to the next stage. The next stage is selecting a pharmacy. In the very same way as selecting your home location, it is the same for the pharmacy. Please note that you can actually enter the pharmacy later by selecting the skip button, but be warned that every time you log on to the Android app, it will request this information for you. So it's always best to enter a pharmacy when you're registering for the first time. You have the ability to change it later on. So select the geo-navigational button, zoom in, and Once you find a pharmacy, which is usually indicated by a tablet pin, as you can see here, you may select that to display the details of the pharmacy. If you are happy with this particular pharmacy, you can select the button Set as Default Pharmacy. If you are not, you may zoom out, click into the map, and you may select a pharmacy located elsewhere by moving the map around. But for this tutorial, we'll keep it fairly simple. We will select the one that we've just found. We simply select, we have a confirmation, and then we continue to the next stage. The next stage simply asks for the allergies that the patient may have. The patient may not have any allergies, so they may skip this section. But for this tutorial, as you can see, you simply just select the checkbox that applies to you in terms of allergies and press continue. The final stage is where you are asked about your blood group. Simply select the blood group type if you know what that is. And if you are diabetic, then enter the details of your diabetic situation. Once this is done, you may select the finish button. Again, you may skip this if you should you wish, so that you can enter it later. But you will be asked this information every time you log in. One of the reasons why they ask this information is that once you then liaise with a provider, aka doctor, the doctor can see your blood type and diabetes, so they can assist you further for the right course of treatment. Select the finish button, and by default you'll be presented with the providers page, where there will be a list of providers that you can search through and select. And that is how you register as a patient. Quickly, just to show you, the 3-bar navigation, if you select that, you will see your name, Billy Bob Thornton. You will see other features of the Android app, which are covered at other tutorials. But so you know that this is actually your account, you may select the My Profile menu, click onto the account, and there you will see an image of yourself and all the details that you entered. But you can also enter your second name and title should you wish. Once you enter the details for that, so say for example I enter the title and I can select save, that data is now saved. To exit out of the application, you simply select sign out. I hope that you enjoyed this small tutorial on how to use the One2One Android medical app as registering as a patient. Thank you for your time and speak to you soon.